Welcome back to the fascinating world of the genes with Rohini, and today's topic it is the catabolite repression. Catabolite repression, it is a type of the regulatory mechanism which is observed into the most of the catabolite operons like the lac-operon, arabinose-operon, galactose-operon, and there are the number of operons which are regulated by this catabolite repression. Catabolite repression, it is also known as glucose effect or the glucose repression. So it is called as an glucose repression or the glucose effect as whenever there is the presence of the glucose in the medium, the simple sugar present into the medium, at that time the bacterial cell it is going to utilize the preference sugar as the glucose. So whenever there is a presence of the glucose in the medium, the glucose it is going to be first utilized by the bacterial cells, and then there are the another sugars or the another carbon sources it is going to be utilized. Okay, so now when we are going to look at the catabolite repression mechanism, here we should know that there is the activator, and that activator it is the CRP, that is the cyclic AMP receptor protein, or it is also called as an CAP, that it is the catabolite activator protein. This activator it is in an inactive state and it has to be made active whenever there has to be the expression of the genes. So to make the activator active one, there is an incoming of the molecule, and that it is a cyclic AMP. That is the cyclic AMP it is going to work like as an inducer. Cyclic AMP now it is getting bound to the CRP and it is making the complex cyclic AMP CRP complex, which is the active form of the CRP, and this cyclic AMP CRP complex now it is going and binding to the CBS. It is a CRP binding site, and by binding to the CBS, by binding to this CBS, cyclic AMP CRP complex allowing the loading of the RNA polymerases, so there will be the start of the transcription, that is the gene it is getting expressed, that is the switch on of the operon. So at a low level of the cyclic AMP, CRP it is a inactive one, and at a high concentration of the cyclic AMP, CRP it is a active one. But here the concentration of the CRP it is modulated by the concentration of the glucose in the medium. So when there is a high concentration of the glucose in the medium, at that time cyclic AMP levels they are lower one, and as there are the low levels of the cyclic AMP, the CRP it is a inactive one, so there is a repression of the operon. Next here, when the glucose levels they are lower one, at that time cyclic AMP levels they are higher one, so the CRP it is active, so there will be the switch on or there is the expression of the genes present into the operons. Okay, so in this way the glucose it is going to fluctuate the concentration of the cyclic AMP, and thus it is going to affect the activator CRP. Now how the glucose levels it is going to fluctuate the concentration of the cyclic AMP. Now here there is the PTS system. PTS system it is a transport system for the glucose. Okay, PTS system it is a transport system for the glucose. So here the glucose it is transported into the cell with the help of the PTS system, and when it is transported into the cell, the glucose in the form of the phosphate, that is the glucose phosphate, it is transferred to the cell. In the PTS system there are the number of protein molecules they are present. In that the 2A-GLC which is in a phosphorylated form, in that we are interested. So the 2A-GLC it is the transporter and it is in a phosphorylated form, and it is allowing the transport of the glucose into the cell. So here when there is the transport of the glucose in the cell, at that time the phosphate group of the 2A-GLC, the phosphate group of the 2A-GLC it is donated to the glucose. So the glucose in the form of the glucose phosphate it is now getting transported into the cell. Glucose in the form of the glucose phosphate it is transported, and who is allowing it? The 2A-GLC it is allowing. How? By donating its phosphate to the glucose. So in this way there is the transport of the glucose in the cell with the help of the PTS system with the help of this 2-AGLC, which is in a phosphorylated form. The phosphorylated form of the 2-AGLC, it is also going to the second function, and that second function, it is the activation of the adenylyl cyclase. Adenylyl cyclase, it is also called as an adenylate cyclase also, and this enzyme, it is allowing the conversion of the ATP into the cyclic AMP. So ATP, it is getting converted into the cyclic AMP when there is active form of the adenylyl cyclase. Okay, and this adenylyl cyclase, it is made activated by the 2-AGLC, which is in a phosphorylated form. Okay, now how it is going to affect the levels of the cyclic AMP? Whenever there is a high concentration of the glucose, okay, whenever there is a high concentration of the glucose, the phosphate group of the 2-AGLC will be donated to the glucose. Okay, the phosphate group of the 2-AGLC, it is donated to the glucose. So here the 2-AGLC, it will be in a dephosphorylated form, and as it is in a dephosphorylated form, it cannot activate the adenylyl cyclase. Okay, whenever 2-AGLC, it is in a dephosphorylated form, it cannot activate the adenylyl cyclase. So as the adenylyl cyclase, it is in an inactive form. Okay, adenylyl cyclase, it is in an inactive form. The ATP into the cyclic AMP, it will not be done. There is no conversion of the ATP into the cyclic AMP. So the cyclic AMP levels into the cell, they will be the lower one, and as they are lower one, the CRP, it is in an inactive form, so it is going to do the repression of the operon. Okay, now when the condition, it is a glucose, it is in a lower concentration. Glucose, it is in a lower concentration. So whenever there is a glucose in a lower concentration, or there is a no glucose, at that time there is a no one to whom the 2-AGLC, it is going to donate its phosphate group. So here 2-AGLC, it will be in a phosphorylated form only. 2-AGLC, it will be in a phosphorylated form only, and so it can activate the adenylyl cyclase. So there is a conversion of the ATP into the cyclic AMP, and as there is a conversion of the ATP into the cyclic AMP, there are the high levels of the cyclic AMP. High levels of the cyclic AMP, it is going to activate the CRP. So as the CRP, it is an active one, that is, there is a cyclic AMP CRP complex, it is going to be formed. So there will be the activation of the genes, or there is the switch on of the operon. Okay, so in this way, the levels of the glucose, it is going to affect the concentration of the cyclic AMP, and thus it is going to affect the active and the inactive form of the activator, and that activator, it is the CRP. Okay, I think you may have got the point, catabolite repression. If you have any doubt, if you have any comment, or you want anything more from me, you can write into the comment box. Okay, so if you have liked the video, please subscribe and also share with your friends to spread the knowledge. Thank you.